Hello everybody and welcome to Arghanion's Puzzlebox. Now I had a few requests for this for a while now and I just wanted to cover it in a video. Basically people have asked me how they can add a cloud system to a planet, maybe like a sphere or maybe the procedural planet that I have on offering on Fab or ArtStation or the Patreon page. So basically if you have something like this, massive planet and not something necessarily that you can land on, but this can apply to something that you can land on as well. If you have a planet like this, then how do you add a volumetric cloud layer on top? And this is where something like the Atmos Forge comes into play because it can actually render around a planet. So this can be quite useful if you're interested in a workflow like that, and if you want to have a planet that has a cloudscape onto it. So let's start with the basic problem that we can see. So basically this planet here does have its own atmosphere, which can be a bit of a problem. Now the atmosphere cannot be disabled from here, and from the blueprint, but we can select it over like that, sky atmosphere, and then we can type in visible and just make it invisible. And now the atmosphere is gone, or we could delete it from the blueprint itself if we wanted to. But this is we're doing this because we want to make sure that we can use a new atmosphere in the world. Then with that done, I can go over here into my content folder, wherever, I don't know why I'm seeing all this stuff. Oh, sorry, there we go. Then I'm going to go into the Atmos Forge folder and into the blueprint. And I've got BP Atmos Forge. I'm going to drag that into the world after it sort of loads a little bit. And then I'm going to make sure that it is sitting dead center in the scene. For whatever reason, right now my entire Unreal Engine has stopped working. Oh, there we go. Now we're back. So I'm going to select the Atmos Forge, and I'm going to make sure, it's already saying that it's an absolute scale of 1 and its location 0, 0, 0, which is fine. But as you can see, the atmosphere is actually surrounding the whole world. It's bigger than the planet itself. So the first thing that we want to do is we're going to select the sky atmosphere from here. And we have in here planet top at albedo, so we can change planet center at component transform, right? And as I said to you, the atmosphere is way too large. So I'm going to select the Atmos Forge over here. And I've got some options that I can sort of see further down. It's about just how big the atmosphere itself can be. So the atmosphere sort of like height and ground radius, right? So we're going to put that to maybe like 1000 or something like that, and you can see it's still quite large. We can take the height quite low if we want to. By the way, you can see the atmosphere edge right there, but you can also see this atmosphere, this height fog. So I'm going to click on the exponential height fog, or I can take a look. I've not yet implemented settings in here to like disrupt the height fog, but I can just select it from this list. And in here, right, when I have volumetric fog, I can disable that, for example, if I don't need it. But if I still want to have it, I can put this to something like, well, actually, you can see in there, it does not allow me to change that parameter. So that's good, because that means that it is controlled in the blueprint itself. So we do have a fog density in here that we can play with. And there we go. That's the one. And I do want to put this over to like a 0. There you go. Now you can see the atmosphere very clearly. The planet itself might not be centered, so just going to make sure that the location is set to 0, 0, 0. There you go. Now, the Atmos Forge is also displaying a skybox, so we do want to destroy that. We do have an option in here to just destroy the space box like that, space dome. And once that's done, we just have the directional light and we have the planet in there. We now need to bring in our volumetric clouds, which are currently not visible, but if I get close, I can start seeing them. They're obviously way too high still, so we need to bring this further down, maybe something like that, right? Now if we get closer, we can see that the clouds are now surrounding that planet. And again, with this in mind, you just kind of have to like eyeball some of this stuff, right? Maybe you wanted somewhere around there, maybe something like that. Okay, but you can see if it's like that, you can't actually see the atmosphere too much, so you might still want to raise it. But these clouds are still quite high, which that means that you can then go over into your volumetric clouds and have a look at their height, and you might want to bring that further down a little bit, maybe play around with the bottom altitude or something like that, right? So now you can have these clouds, but they're disappearing when you get too far away. And that's because of how the tracing distance works. You do have a max trace distance and whatnot in here. Unfortunately, the blueprint is currently a bit buggy, and it's not allowing me to increase this distance in the way that I want to. So this is why we need to open the blueprint. Now in a future update to Atmos Forge, this will be fixed, but I just want to show you in here that we need a little bit of a fix. And inside the blueprint, you want to find wherever we're dealing with the tracing distance of the volumetric. So this is not going to be the one. We want to look at the volumetric cloud controls, and then let me just see. We're going to have to find it in here to basically control that volumetric tracing max distance. You can see it right here. Okay, this is the one that we need to change. So tracing max distance is not the right setup. We need something else here to fix this. So what you do in here, you just grab over from this pin. Just remember, it's in the volumetric cloud control. Just grab over from this pin. Okay, and then we can set trace. And you see here, you have set tracing max distance, but we actually need to set the tracing start max distance. Okay, and then I'm going to take this parameter, plug it in here. I'm going to take this pin, this executable pin, just like that. We don't need this bit here. I'm going to press compile, and now we go back into our planet. And as you can see, I can sort of like go far away, and I can't see the clouds anymore. But then if I look at tracing start max distance, I can increase this value. Oh, sorry, this one. Sorry, not the... I've got it all... I literally missed my own thing there. Because you got to look, right? Tracing max distance. See, tracing max distance. I literally put the other node. So we can increase this, depending on your requirements. So let's say we put this to, I don't know, 2000 or something like that. You can see now that the clouds are visible all the way from here. Now, obviously, they're going to go blurrier and blurrier as you get further away. And this is where options such as sample max count, sample count scale, come into play. So you could increase this to like a 7 or something, but obviously performance will start taking a hit. I definitely wouldn't recommend going past 1 for performance point of view. But then again, you're just going to have to play with those settings until you get the right detail. So now you can see that it's working, and this is the shadowed part of the clouds. Now it's really up to you to art direct these clouds based on your needs. There's a lot of parameters here in the Cloud Forge. So what I've showed you in here, if you click on the option that actually brings in the clouds, right? You'll notice that all of these options that we just played with are within the volumetric cloud component that you'd be bringing in as, if you were using the normal one. If you go over here to the plus button, go over into visual effects, and is now controlled by a blueprint, but that's how you do it, right? You just play around from here. It's the same thing. And in terms of the atmosphere, it's the same thing. You can click the, the atmosphere, where is it? The sky atmosphere. And, we've got atmosphere height, and we have planet center at component. This is something that you can change. Obviously, if you put this at planet top, you can see what's going on. It's bugging everything out. So you want to have planet center. So then you can actually have a revolving cloud system. And now, again, there's a lot of stuff that you need to do here. Things like with cloud shadows, get these to darken up a lot more. All of that can be done through the Atmos Forge directly. There's a lot of sort of options that you need to kind of play around with in here. So we can put this to like 330 or something like that, just to make it make more sense. Also, the planet itself is expecting a directional light source, and right now it does have one. It's got 2, so we should delete that one. So you now have only the primary light source that comes from Atmos Forge. And then this system is now expecting a light direction to come from somewhere, and it's currently cannot see it. So you'd need to modify the procedural planet in order to read the Atmos Forge directional light. It's not a difficult setup, but definitely something that you can do. But as it stands right now, this is working just fine. In terms of the cloud shadows themselves for the Atmos Forge, you do have in here things like shadow tracing distance. which actually, by the way, I think it's kind of bugging the more you sort of increase it. So I'm just going to try some settings in here, right? Something like that. And then you're going to have to play around with all these setups in here, because otherwise it just won't occlude properly. But yes, these are fully fledged clouds, right? And this is an atmosphere, and this can be above a planet that you can walk on as well. But again, you will need to play around with the height, with the bottom altitude, with the shape of the clouds to make them actually fit this system, because this is going to be a very large system here, and you might want to make the planet a lot bigger, because right now the planet is quite small. There's a lot of information stacked very very up close. So I could sort of like make this planet maybe like a lot larger, something like that, and then click on the Atmos Forge. We obviously would then want to push that atmosphere height, so and ground radius. So we would bring it something like that, right? You can already see that it's starting to look a lot better now, because it's bigger. So then you get in there, and again the same thing. This is a planet, so you want to look at increasing this stratus. So at that point you then go at where is it now? We might want to get this radius a bit higher, maybe something like that. Okay, off the ground. Yeah. You do want this trace, see here, this traceability might not be good enough. So again, you'll want to play around with the tracing of it, tracing distance. This one will need connecting again for this to actually work. So otherwise you're going to have some issues here, because again, it's occluding, it's self-occluding. So you're going to have some ability to control that trace from the blueprint. But yeah, that's just kind of how we do it. If you're interested in checking the Procedural Planet and the Atmos Forge, and you want them together, then they do actually come packaged together in the Cloud Forge as a singular product, where it's already preset and it's already running very well.